What's up, YouTube? What's up, Xtreme Gainz family? I'm Chuck. This is Xtreme Gainz. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is or ever will be financial advice. Please do not take it as such. Today is Monday, March 21st, 2022, and this is the AMC and SPY Algo Exposed daily update and preparation video for tomorrow and beyond. I want to do what I always do and go through the regulars, and that consists of my snake algo for AMC and SPY and macro comparatives for both. One for AMC from the macro descending wedge prior to the January 2021 run-up. One for SPY in what I've labeled as the extended version from the 08-09 correction and crash that I've been tracking since September, October, and here on the channel since I started streaming in December. So with that said, let's dig in. On your screen is the AMC snake algo, micro to macro snake algo. Monday's clip, last Monday led until Friday. Friday's clip has now led us into today. Now, the thought is potentially that Friday's clip could potentially lead to Monday, but I'm not getting a Monday pull on it. So not sure if this is just going to be what we've called previously a confirmation or an interim snake to fill the gap between Friday and Monday, or if it's going to lead and then switch off again. I lean more towards the first, that it's potentially a confirmation or an interim snake for the time being. However, with that in mind, I went ahead and I clipped Monday. Well, first, go ahead and look at that. We are following it. We did follow Friday and now into today with that snake clip. However, because of the success going back last week to Monday, which is the first week, as you know, that we've been back on a Monday pull with these for a few weeks now since the holiday that we had on Monday that took trading away, I went ahead and pulled today's. And if I pull today's, I get replication of, with 1 day overlap, Friday's movements, today's movements, and I get a pull until Friday with those 2 days being covered. So if we're on potentially like a Monday to Monday with a Friday interim, which we've had happen previously, then this is what I would expect and what I'm going to be looking for moving forward. If we're not, and we're on Monday, Friday through a whole nother week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, or even to Friday, then this is something that I'm going to be looking for moving forward. So with both of these on there, that is what I'm seeing. I hope that makes sense. I know if you're new here, that's going to make absolutely zero sense. For those that have been riding with me for quite some time, it makes absolutely perfect sense. You know how these have been interchanging and how actually the days of interchange have moved at times and switched. I mean, GME just switched from being consistently and consecutively Monday, Friday to now Tuesday, Friday. So I just don't know from Friday what Friday snake leads for. Does it lead just 1 day into Monday with a 1 day overlap into Thursday, and then we go back into a Monday? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but little things that I'm experimenting with. This is all, it's a working project for me, so I hope you kind of wrap your mind around that. This is not a bulletproof thing by any stretch of the imagination. It's been very, very, very good to me as far as fulfilling and projecting, but it really boils down to me finding it, and I still haven't nailed AMC down to an exact rules-based science, knowing exactly what days every week, how far to stretch it, and be able to do that on a regular basis without thought. That's not something I've been able to accomplish yet, but it is my drive when it comes to this, and that is something that I'm hoping to be able to do moving forward, not only with AMC, but with the other tickers that I follow as well. Okay, so that's the snake algo and what I'm looking for moving into tomorrow and beyond. Now, the macro comparative from the, let me zip out of here real quick. The macro descending wedge prior to the January 2021 run up. I'm going to go to the 4-hour chart here. And this is a 5-year clip. It's a 7-year macro descending wedge from 2013 to 2020 prior to the January run up, which is replicated and shown here. Now, I took a 5-year clip of that 7-year descending wedge, and that's what you see blue overlaid on May to June. That is where this last portion of this macro double-double that I've been talking about what seems forever comes from. Excuse me. And although it's not a candle for candle projection, you can see quite easily that it's been a suggested projected path, and that real price action has followed that path essentially with a generalized perspective of the macro movements, a zoomed out vision of the whole thing, right? Taking all of it into account. And that is where this brings us to this macro double-double that we've been in since the beginning of February and or the end of January. So again, not candle for candle, some nuanced divergence, some price levels that were not attained, that were projected but not attained, both to the upside and the downside, and some that were overextended. But if you look at the general path that real price action has followed, you can see clearly that it has followed this. So where are we in this, and what is it potentially indicating moving forward? There you go. That's where we're at. This is what's indicated moving forward. Potentially some short-term upside. Again, doesn't have to be candle for candle. This could just run straight down. This could run clear out here before it runs down. But nonetheless, the generalized perspective of the upcoming moves, according to this, are what you see. Now, going back to the snakes and the macro comparative, if I place it in the exact same spot, you can see where the macro comparative and essentially a portion of both the blue snake, which would be today's clip, and yellow snake, which was Friday's clip, run with the macro comparative projection. The yellow, which is Friday's, does divert from that. However, blue, which is today's clip, seems to run with it for a longer period of time, up until Friday. Something I want you also to look at that looks a little familiar is this. And whether or not I have that in the right position or something like that were to happen, I'm looking at this bottom, and that bottom, if it were to follow today's snake throughout the entire week, as we followed last Monday's snake throughout the entire week into Friday, I'm wondering if this here would be the actual second portion of the macro double-double bottom. And if it would, in fact, go from there, like it did over here, it indicated downside down to 1250 here and never achieved that price level. Could it be possible that that could be it there, seeing that it does have resemblance of that pointed, what I call a spade bottom? Sure could. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention when looking at it. Just little things that I look at, that I notice. I try to imprint these shapes, these fractal shapes and sizes in my head for obvious reasons and for future reference. So that's what I'm looking at with the macro comparative and the snake algos for AMC. SPY. Excuse me. The yellow is the macro comparative from the 08-09 correction and crash. But again, I've been tracking since September, October, on the channel here since December, since I started. Now, we have been watching this ascending level that it has been following in the yellow, and I'm on the 4 hour, by the way. It's indicating it rolling over with a little downside prior to another move up to roughly the 453 area. Same thing with the snakes here. However, SPY is on Tuesday. This is Tuesday's clip from last week. We are still following Tuesday's clip from last week. There's no reason for me to move this off of here until we divert from it fully. So blue is Tuesday's snake from last week, and we're still continuing to follow it. Red was Friday's clip, in case we were on Tuesday, Friday, and with a 1 day overlap, which would put it there. It indicates the exact same thing leading up into tomorrow. However, it shows a different path than both the macro comparative and the current Tuesday snake from last week that we have yet to divert from. So to eliminate confusion, I'm removing that for now, keeping it out of the way, knowing that if we divert to the upside tomorrow, that this Tuesday snake has been invalidated, and indeed the Friday snake did pick up, because it did pick up the movements last week with the overlap, and it did fulfill today with the blue one and the macro comparative as well. So that's what I'm looking at with SPY, with the macro comparative and my snake algo. Now, real quick, BBIG. I put this out on Twitter real quick. And all of y'all that have been with me for a minute, you know this. We've been looking at this, tracking this. I called out a while back levels for the run-up that BBIG had previously, and I found a macro comparative fractal. There's actually a couple of them. Here is another one that are similar in this manner in previous movements. I found the one back in January that I thought we were replicating the closest, and we have followed it. Not real intently, but it's part of our watch list here on the live stream. It's part of our daily updates, and it's something that we keep an eye on moving through our weeks every week. So it's something I also update weekly in my premium Discord. This is one of the algo charts that I keep up with and continually track. So nonetheless, you know what's going on with BBIG. BBIG's up today 23.79%. It was up on Wednesday, up on Thursday, up on Friday, and now it's up again today quite a bit. So there's the macro fractal and the macro overlay and the comparative fractal from previous movement. And what is it indicating? I'm on the 1 hour chart right now. So right now, obviously, I talked about this today. If you're in the live stream, I called out the movements today on this from what I was anticipating seeing and potentially expecting, and it gave pretty much it to a T as well. So once again, I'm looking for it to claim and reclaim this 305 area. If it's not, and it's going to potentially box top in here, we may see some more downside here and have to replicate what my anticipation and expectation was today for a compressed W in here on a micro to translate this to this next continuation to upside move. So we'll see if we get that tomorrow, but that's obviously what I'm expecting if this does not break and hold the 305, and then obviously break like the 315 area to the upside for a continuation to the upside. And then I have some macro levels in moving to the upside. These were the same levels that were in on the two previous run-ups for BBIG that I followed intently. So I would be looking at those for price movement and significant levels of resistance on the way to the upside if it were to in fact continue to follow this macro comparative in its current position like it has for the last couple months. So congrats to everybody or anybody that's in BBIG or that made money on BBIG today. Congratulations. That's what I'm looking at with it as well, moving forward into tomorrow and potentially the rest of the week. If you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate it very much. Do y'all thing, like the video, subscribe, comment on it, interact with it like you always do. We greatly appreciate that. Y'all know what's going on here on YouTube. So any kind of help in that department is much, much, much appreciated. Quick reminder, I will not be live here tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's a Discord day for me, but I will communicate through Twitter with you all like I always do. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, go follow me on Twitter. It's Gainz at gainzxtreme. And I'll put something out in the morning, a little update like I always do before the day starts. But I'll be back here on Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. for market open to market close, like always. And I will be putting out another update preparation video tomorrow night after market close right here, like I always do every night. So appreciate you being here. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you all on the next one. Later.